Welcome back to Old Trafford then. After the press conference with the coach Thomas Tuchel and Julian Draxler, now we have 15 minutes of live training for Paris Saint-Germain. Match day -1 training ahead of the first leg of the last 16 tie against Manchester United here in the Theatre of Dreams. As you can see behind me, we have the Paris Saint-Germain squad just starting their warm-up. Marco Verratti has just been doing a couple of exercises with Bruno, the physio, to just make sure that he's especially warm, recovering as he is from that ankle injury. Elsewhere, we have the rest of the squad. Everyone here, of course, apart from those three absentees, Neymar, Cavani and Thomas Meunier. In the press conference, the coach saying, look, he never said a word when the draw was held, everyone saying it's a great draw for Paris Saint-Germain. The coach said things can change between December and February, and how things have changed. But the coach saying that this tie is 50-50. Perhaps not tomorrow night in Old Trafford, but over 180 minutes with the return leg at the Parc des Princes, it's a 50-50 tie, and Paris Saint-Germain will have to be at their best. Plenty of questions about the absence of Neymar and Edinson Cavani. Julian Draxler saying it best that obviously any side playing without Neymar, that's a huge loss. Edinson Cavani as well. But the Paris Saint-Germain have the players capable of filling those boots, and he himself counts himself, Julian Draxler, as one of those players who needs to have a big game tomorrow. Obviously, as we've seen over the last 2 years, these big ties are decided on the tiny details. Paris Saint-Germain will have to be at 100% tomorrow night to get a result here in the Theatre of Dreams. But Manchester United haven't been imperial at home so far in Europe this season. A home draw to Valencia, a loss to Juventus, and a narrow 1-0 win over the young boys of Bern, the Swiss side. So there is a chance for Paris Saint-Germain, who have won their last 16 ties here in England, both against Chelsea. Let's go now then to training. The team has just headed off to warm up. We might have a little shot of the whole stadium here as well, because it's a 78,000-seater stadium here at Manchester. It's been renovated a couple of times. We're just at the old traditional entry of the players' race on the halfway line. It's no longer used. The players will come down from the corner for those fans of Premier League football that watch week in, week out. The sides coming here, they'll walk along the pitch as the famous music plays. A huge night for Paris Saint-Germain, of course, their 103rd European match. And after showing such great spirit as well, there was a question for the coach in the press conference about that mentality, and has the Paris Saint-Germain mentality progressed since that opening day loss in the Champions League to Liverpool. The coach saying 100%. Without that, you can't get a result in Napoli. You can't get a big home result against Liverpool. And then when you need to win in Belgrade, and you do it in style with that 4-1 victory. So the coach has no doubt, despite the difficulties at the moment with the absence of certain key players, it's especially important for the coach that Marco Verratti is here. He also had plenty of compliments for Leo Paredes as well, despite the fact that he hasn't played for a few weeks. Here comes the squad now. We might get the cameraman to follow the squad off behind me, and we'll be back in 15 minutes with the end of live training. Well, the coaching staff there and the medical staff right next to it. There's Martin Bouchette, the head of performance. Bruno, the big Brazilian physio as well, who's been looking after Dani Alves' return to full fitness. And the physio is there as well with the doctor. The coaches out in the middle. Thomas Tuchel looking forward to a big match from his side. His tactical nous will be under the microscope again tomorrow night. He is a fantastic tactician. His side plays several, and you can see the side is quite relaxed out there with the coaching staff and the physios as well. And now the players will go for an hour's training session this evening. Just a light session to get the legs moving again. And we'll be back then, as I said, at the end of 15 minutes just to say goodbye and queue up for the match for tomorrow night.
Martin. Martin.
Pour les juger, les trois, c'est eux. Sinon, on récupère deux chez vous.
Excusez-moi de bosser.
Five minutes left. Encore 5 minutes.
Ça va, tu vas bien?
Just 3 minutes left now of our live training session. The players are just going through a few games. The rondos on the far side of the pitch, so quite away from our cameras. Can tell you the three goalkeepers, Gigi Buffon, Alphonse Areola and Sébastien Cibois, are all training with Gianluca Spinelli to the side. 3 minutes left is the call from our UEFA press officer, who's just letting all the media here know that they have to pack up in a couple of moments' time. There's plenty of international media. This is obviously a huge tie this week between to clubs who fancy their chances of going all the way in the Champions League this year. Don't forget, we will be live from Old Trafford, the Theatre of Dreams, tomorrow evening from 8 p.m. French time, 7 p.m. local time. For 15 minutes, we will have the starting lineups for both two sides. You'll hear them first on PSG.fr and on all the official social media accounts. And we'll also be back post-match as well with all the reactions and post-match interviews of the players. And let's not forget that whatever happens tomorrow night, there will be the return leg at the Parc des Princes in 3 weeks' time on the 12th of February. That a huge advantage for Paris, courtesy of finishing top of their group ahead of Liverpool and Napoli and Red Star Belgrade. Manchester United, who struggled through their group, only just coming in second place behind Juventus and ahead of Valencia. And as you can hear, 1 minute left in training. We will leave you with these pictures from the training ground here at Old Trafford, the scene of tomorrow night's match. The first leg of the last 16 of the UEFA Champions League. From me, Robbie Thompson, all the team here at PSG TV. We will see you again tomorrow for the match.